Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another rider, another episode. Today, we've got a bit of a spicy, interesting one. We've got a lovely lady, her name's Sally, and you all regular listeners know what that means. She's going to tell us about the dating world or dating apps and good dates, bad dates, etc, etc. So nice to have you here today, Sally.
Hi.
Come on, I want more of that fire you was giving me earlier.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you my story. So I had this Bumble connection, so we exchanged a couple of messages, and then I went straight to the date, because sometimes I think it's not worth just chatting to people for ages. You might as well just go straight to the date. And he said, "Oh, do you want to meet for lunch?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, let's do lunch tomorrow," something like that. And anyway, I was actually getting ready, putting my makeup on, doing my hair and everything, getting ready for this date, and then a message came through saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm a big guy."
Okay.
And I was thinking, not really sure what he means there, but then I flicked on his pictures.
It could mean one of three things.
Yeah, exactly. It could mean a few things. But I was like, okay.
Enjoyable.
So I flicked on the pictures, and then I suddenly realised actually the two pictures or whatever that he had on Bumble were just like headshots. And I thought, oh, okay, yeah, they're just headshots. You can't see any body at all. It was literally just from the neck up.
Yeah. And
then I thought, oh, okay. And so I replied just saying, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And he said, "Well, I am on a diet." And I was, "Okay, yeah, that's fine, yeah. I'll just have some salad or something like that." And so we went to the restaurant, and it was a really hot day as well. And we sat in the garden. And so anyway, as I walked in and saw him standing at the bar, I mean, he was massive. I mean, he wasn't like slightly overweight, he was massive. I thought, okay, I'm not the type of mean person that's going to walk away and just go home. I know people that do that on these days. They just literally see the person and then just walk away, but I can't do that. And so hi, and then we sat in the garden, and we were sitting in this garden. It was like 25 degrees, it was boiling. And then he said, "Oh, what would you like to eat?" And I was like, "Oh, I just have this salad," being supportive, obviously, of his diet. And it was a really hot day. And
he forgot about his diet.
Well, no. So he said, "Yeah, I'm going to have that as well, like chicken Caesar salad or whatever it was." And then he goes inside to order the food, because you had to order the food at the bar. Then he came back out and he said, "Oh, I saw the roast dinner. It looked really amazing, so I ordered that." And I thought, really? It's like 25 degrees? And then he basically sat there with his roast dinner, like sweating. And I mean,
like King Henry or something.
Like King Henry, like sweat rolling down his face while he was eating it, because it was so hot. And I was sitting there crunching on my lettuce. And yeah.
You just looked at this Jabba the Hutt.
And I just thought,
it's time to go.
And that was that date basically. And I said goodbye at the end of it, and that was it. He was a nice guy. To be fair, he was a very nice guy. But
did you ask? Yeah. Did he try and lean in for a hug or a kiss?
I don't think he did. I think we just left at the end. It was all very polite. He was very polite and nice.
Oh, you're a professional then. That's what I'd say, because...
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was that one, but yeah.
But you had your successful one for Zanzibar, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. One day, and then the second day, meet at Heathrow and go to Zanzibar.
See, that's
pretty cool.
I actually should have let you tell that date.
Yeah, I should have
done. You're putting pressure on all the other guys. She said,
I didn't take me to Zanzibar.
Listen, see, second date, Zanzibar.
No, he was It's not like he took me to Zanzibar. It was we went together.
Okay, that was nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. You got any stories?
Would you recommend the dating apps, the dating world?
I'm not that experienced. I mean, I've used Bumble for quite a few years.
Okay.
Other apps I haven't really used. I used Happen for a little while. But I haven't done Tinder. I always see it as being a bit down market. I don't know what other people think.
Okay, you should hear about Plenty of Fish one.
No, that's even more down.
That's in the gutter. That's not even the McDonald's of the dating apps. That's like that Dixon chicken shop.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you say that you've learnt that you wish you knew at the start when you
no, I think that there's nothing to lose with dating. I think that you meet people that you would never ever meet in your life.
That's true.
The guy that I met that I went to Zanzibar with, he's a photographer. He lives in Brighton. He's really cool and everything. I never would have met him in my life. I wouldn't have gone into a bar in London and met him. He's not the kind of guy that goes to bars. You know what I mean? And I never would have crossed paths with him. This guy now, he lives in Television Centre or whatever. I'm never going to have crossed paths with him otherwise.
Okay.
So, I think it's good. I think it's great. Some people are really sceptical about it, but, I have to say that probably out of 100 people that you swipe, only one is of interest, maybe. But, you have to be persistent, don't you?
I think there's art to it, though. I think close-up headshots, you can ask them why they didn't take...
No, you don't bother asking. Look, if someone's just got a close-up headshot and that's the only picture they've got to bin and go to the next one.
Fair enough. That's one way. That's very diplomatic.
And also, I think, there's a lot of guys, that just have selfies.
Yeah.
And they've got, 3 selfies. And you think, well, haven't you got any friends? Don't you actually go out and go somewhere and have a friend take a photo of you?
Oh, I see what you mean. I was like,
no, he's got no friends. No. I don't like his shirt. No. I don't like his curtains. No.
You're
and they're in the toilet taking their selfies. Why? Do you know what I mean? Are they married or something? And they're in the toilet and they have to go to the toilet and take a selfie.
You know what? They say women and men think differently, and it's true. Because the way you're looking at, you could write a book.
No, but seriously, if they got hideous curtains or hideous bed linen or something behind them, the horrible bed linen, no.
Okay.
And you get loads of them where they've got 3 selfies in the toilet.
Yeah.
I mean, why are they taking selfies in the fucking toilet? Or they've got any man who's got a picture on his app with his shirt off. No, I don't care what muscles he's got.
Can I ask you something?
Or whatever. I don't care.
Women take photos with loads of cleavage.
Yeah, well, probably, but I don't.
So no, I'm not saying you do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
and I've got loads of cleavage, but I don't take photos of it.
Okay. Well, no, I was going to ask you, does that equate to the same?
Well, I don't know what men look at. Men probably think, great, cleavage, yes, I like that one. But to me, I do the opposite because, why am I interested in their chest?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. You're either a nice guy or you're not a nice guy. I don't really care.
I had someone say to me one time, they picked my photos because it showed I was well travelled.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's
So
fair
that
enough
was
because I probably like my photos now. If you look at them, they're in other countries and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's a thing, and that's nothing wrong with that. But showing that you're loads of guys as well put pictures with a kid.
Really?
And they post the picture of the kid.
I don't know why
I'd
they do that.
fucking kill my ex if he put pictures of my daughter or son or whatever on an app. I don't want them on an app.
That's not
Their actual main picture is them and their daughter or their son. I don't want to see your son. I don't really give a fuck. Or their grandchildren now at my age. They've got all their photos with their grandchildren. I don't want to see that. I don't need to see that.
Family people.
Yeah, look at me. I'm a nice guy. I'm sitting here with a little kid on my lap.
It's like a politician.
No.
Right?
I don't want to see your kids. And I think it's weird that you're putting your kids
Or the sexual
on a dating app.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because when
especially women that do that. I mean, you're actually inviting predators, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I always look at that strange. I see some people have that, but then they put a smiley face over the child's
sometimes
face.
they blank it out.
So it's like,
come on, just get another photo.
Yeah,
just get another photo
Wait,
that hasn't got the kid in it.
Are you really that limited on photos?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's really...
This has been quite an education on hearing your point of view.
No, I mean, I've had a couple of... You know, I can't be that horrible like people are when they turn up to a date and then they just walk away because they look at them and think no. And I know people that have done that. I know a guy that did that, and he actually saw the girl and said, "Oh, I'm just going to park my car," and then he drove off and blocked her. Yeah, because he didn't like the look of her, because she had dry skin and she had something else, I don't know, that he didn't like, and he just drove off.
That is that says a lot about him.
Yeah, but actually, imagine how damaging it is for that woman. It's quite damaging for someone to do that to you. It's really hurtful. Imagine you've got all dressed up and gone to wherever,
and you think you're on point,
and then they drive off. Yeah.
But then also it'll be a lesson learned, as in, okay, what was wrong? What do I need to improve?
No, but she doesn't know that he drove off because she had dry skin.
Yeah, that's true. You could have said, you know what?
She doesn't know why.
She's
never going to know because he's driven off and blocked her. So she's never going to know what's wrong. And it's just that she's not that attractive or whatever it is. She doesn't look like her photos. That's what men always say. It's because the woman doesn't look like her photos. Her photos are 10 years out of date.
Okay. Can I ask you something then?
Yeah.
Should he have said... Because this is a bit a hard one, if you ask me.
You don't look like your photos.
You don't look like, or even you look nice, but your skin is really dry, so it's not going to work for me.
But is that a reason your skin's dry?
Well, some people, different people, different things. So I suppose one man's beef is another man's poison. Is the reason.
You've got dry skin. I don't like it. That's really mean. What if she's got some sort of skin condition?
Maybe she
it's like that's actually like
maybe she shouldn't be trying to date. Sort yourself out first.
Yeah, but that's
before you start trying to meet people.
It's being prejudiced against people with dry skin. That's prejudice. It's racist or something.
Is it?
It's dry skinnist.
Yeah, dry skin. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, all I'm saying is that it's just like you can see it's just.
But I've turned up at a date and I've seen the guy standing there and thought, no. I know straight away, just from seeing him standing there, no, he's not for me.
Yeah.
But I've still gone on the date, had a couple of drinks with him and gone home because I just feel like it's just so
nice
mean.
You, but you're not for me.
Yeah, it's just mean.
I see what you mean. Yeah, you could easily. It doesn't hurt to do that.
No. Nice I went to Charing Cross once and met a guy at Charing Cross. And I still we're going to go to Covent Garden. And I started walking to Covent Garden. I looked behind, he was limping.
Really?
I walk quite fast, and I got quite long legs and walk quite fast.
You're not that
where's
tall,
this guy? I'm 5'7" or something.
So how tall was he?
He was tall, but he's just limping, and I was like, "Oh, you okay?" But obviously, these things you don't know, do you? Before you meet them.
What did he say?
He got gout.
He's got what?
Gout.
That sounds like something you get.
That's from drinking, but it's from drinking too much as well.
So gout.
It's from drinking too much alcohol, basically.
What is it though?
Well, you get inflammation of your joints and things because of it's like a sort of arthritis-y type thing, but because of drinking and stuff and diet.
So why would he recommend
So he
to go for a walk, then?
hobbled up to Covent Garden and then started downing massive pints of Guinness.
So he's still doing it?
Oh yeah, and he's got gout. You shouldn't drink if you've got gout at all. And so that was another.
I heard a funny story once, and this lady was telling me how she met this guy, and the guy kept on asking for full-length photos of different sides of her, and she thought that was like his perv, but then it turned out later that he had a bad experience.
Well, like me, because honestly, after I had that headshot experience with the I'm a big guy thing, I started paying a bit more attention to that.
Yeah. But what had happened with this guy,
Yeah.
he had met this woman, and they decided they're going to meet.
Yeah.
Finally. So they said, all right, let's meet in the car park.
Yeah.
In the park. And so he drove there, and he was waiting in his car. It's night time. And then she.
Well, that's a bit of a weird
I
setup.
know.
I mean, in the car park at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is her
Dodgy.
suggestion.
Yeah.
Suggestion. So she turned up in her car.
Yeah.
And then she parked a couple of cars away from him.
Yeah.
Like the car spaces. But she could have parked right alongside him.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, do you want to get into the car? And she said, and like he was.
This is a very weird day.
Yeah.
To be honest. Yeah.
She's like, no, you come to me. And then he got in the car. And then what he realised when he got in there, that she's crippled. She had no legs. And she hadn't told him. And he felt really like, what do you do?
No, that's awful.
You need to sell someone that. But then again, it's a bit like these, what was it? The transgender who changed their gender. Do you think they should tell someone?
Well, of course they should.
Yeah.
I mean,
say they should.
There's nothing wrong with, disabled people or whatever dating and all these things, but they've got to be honest.
And
you've got to be honest. And if you're massively overweight, show a picture of yourself. What's the point? It's just a waste of everybody's time in going and putting a picture of yourself when you're 10 years younger and going on a date. It's just a waste of everyone's time. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of their time. It's just, you're not going to go anywhere with it. You're going to have half an hour with a guy. Let's say it's a woman who's massively overweight or putting an old picture up. What do you get out of it? You're going to it's actually make you more depressed. You're going to have a date with a guy that's going to last half an hour because he's just going to fuck off, isn't he? Yeah. And then send you a message or block you or whatever. It's actually demoralising. It's not doing something to make you feel good. Just put a picture of yourself and hope that somebody likes that. But the whole thing is just shit, really, isn't it? Because it's horrible that you're judging people on a photo.
But then in truth, that's what we do. You judge, you meet, the first thing you see is the aesthetics, is what you
Yeah, like. I know, but sometimes you meet people in life, and they're not necessarily that good looking or, aesthetically pleasing.
But you get to know them.
But they're nice people, and then they're attractive because they're nice people or they're funny or something, and you just find them attractive. Mm-hmm. But if you saw them on Bumble or wherever, you probably wouldn't.
Pay them attention.
Yeah. And I'm always thinking that when I see people on TV, like famous people or whatever, being interviewed who are funny and, and I think, oh God, that guy's so nice. But if I saw him on Bumble, I'd probably put him on the bin him. Because he's not like you classically good looking or attractive to me.
Well, I suppose it also.
But that's why the whole thing is horrible, mean, really. It is mean. No, it's mean because it's all based on looks.
I think that's an individual though, because I think you've just said it yourself. If you recognise that you're willing to give certain people a chance.
Yeah, but you don't when you're on. Yeah, but when you're swiping, you don't. No, he's ugly, or I don't like his curtains, I don't like his shirt, I don't like his car, I don't like his photos, do you know what I mean? No, he hasn't got any friends, they're all selfies. Bin. Yeah. But some of those people are probably very, very nice people. Maybe you could live potentially happily ever after with them. But it's cruel, I think.
I've never looked at it like that. I do hear what you're saying.
So do you participate in it?
Yeah, I have. I went on Plenty of Fish when it was...
Plenty of Fish, come on.
No, but this is years ago when it was... This is before Tinder was invented.
Yeah.
So remember, Tinder's based on a gay app called Grindr.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I know about Grindr, but I didn't know Tinder was based on Grindr.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's why it's got that pulse.
So what do you do now?
No, me, I'm just working. I don't have time for all of this anymore. I work 7 days a week.
So you don't have a relationship and you don't go on apps?
No, not now.
You're just like a monk.
I'm a monk with a purpose. To become a ninja. No, but yeah. No, at times, depending where you are in life is what you're doing. And I think that's the same relation with the dating apps is to the kind of people you respond to and what you're looking for, it depends.
Well, obviously, it depends what you want at certain times in your life. Yeah. At a certain time, you just want something casual, and other times you want something more serious. Obviously, yeah.
And the trick is finding that companion. But what I like about the concept of dating apps is that when you start talking to that person, you know that they know that you know that you both like each other.
Well, you both like the look of each other, which is very minimal in the whole concept of things.
Well,
you just both like the physical look of each other.
Yeah, as a bloke, that's quite a lot, really. It's probably like 99.9% of the factor.
Oh, okay.
But so to be honest with you there, and then everything else is kind of secondary. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, but I think the most important thing is that the best thing about it is that you meet people that you've never ever have come across in your life.
Yeah.
I think that's the most interesting thing.
That is that, and
because I've gone out with people from all walks of life, you know, like different people that I would never have come across in my life, that have completely different interests and jobs and different things like that not related to anything I've ever done, and I never would have met them in bars or anything. So I think it's good, but it's a bit time consuming and a bit laborious, you know.
Very, very
because then you start meeting, you know, like,
self-discipline.
Hi, and if they don't say anything interesting in the first like 2 sentences, you're just like, oh, I can't be bothered with this. Just bin them.
But you know what I find? What's that app? Is it Bumble or Hinge where the woman has to talk first?
Oh, it's Bumble.
Now, with that, it's very...
Because that's a big thing, because a woman from Bumble, she's like a billionaire. She's made so much money. She came from Tinder originally.
Oh, yeah.
I think they booted her out of Tinder or something, and she's
she's working for Tinder.
She was originally. She was one of the directors of Tinder, and then she created Bumble, and she's made like billions.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Because what I noticed...
Because the woman contacts first.
Yeah, but it's funny, because as men, you always get told off if you don't make the right impression on the first thing, or don't say the right thing.
Yeah.
But women can be very lazy on that first thing, just like hi.
Oh yeah, I'm like that.
It's like really, this is your moment to shine, and the best thing you can do
is say hi.
Yeah. And then if that was me...
Yeah, but I can't be bothered. Because you can't be bothered to waste time saying, like, things.
But someone's written a profile. You comment on their profile about something.
Oh, I can't be asked.
See, so there's a laziness kicking in.
See, we're not compatible.
There's a laziness. No, I said it to one woman one time. It's like...
Oh, I can't be bothered. Yeah, but the thing is
so
you get to the point where you can't be bothered to, like, waste time making all this conversation with people that...
But you're going to talk anyway, aren't you?
Well,
do you see what I mean?
I'm a bit lazy with it, really. It has to click like straight away, otherwise I can't be asked to spin them. Yeah.
I think you're a tough woman.
Not really.
Okay. But I do find the whole.
I think it's fun. People think it's a bit sad and stuff like that. I think it's quite fun.
What surprised me is that I had a customer one time, and she's quite a young lady. When I say girl, not a lady, and she was telling me how she doesn't, she never cooks because she just makes sure she has a date every night.
No.
And that's how she lives her life.
What? And she goes pouncing off blokes, like basically making them pay for dinner.
If you want to meet me, you got to take me out to dinner. And then some years ago, someone told me that's a very common thing.
No, I've heard blokes complaining about that they, you know, every time they've taken a woman and they say, should we go for a drink? And the woman's like, no, let's go for dinner. And then she doesn't attempt to pay and all that. And I think it's out of order. I would never arrange a dinner on a first date, because I think if you walk in, you don't like him, you're bloody stuck with them for hours if you're going to have dinner, aren't you?
Unless you're going to be honest and say
sorry. So it's always best to just have a drink first, or a coffee or something. But obviously lockdown has changed all that. And it's like, come round to my house and I'll cook you dinner, which is a whole new world, isn't it?
Or it's probably the most. I saw a little sketch, one of those WhatsApp profile saying,
Yeah.
all men are begging for lockdown to last for a little bit longer.
Well, I bet they are, because it's come round to my place. Because there's no dinner, there's no, there's no restaurants, there's no cocktails, there's no nothing.
Cinema, nothing.
It's just like, oh, would you like to come round to mine for dinner?
Yeah.
And you've been chatting for ages, there's fuck all else to do.
Oh.
And so you end up saying yes, even though that goes against everything you know is not really right.
Yeah. And then
But
it's only the strong survive.
Nothing else to do, is there?
Yeah.
So you think, okay, all right, I'll give it a go. And off you go to television centre.
This bloke hears this one, he knows he's going to know. Oh, so you did a big episode of me then, did you? And you compared me to Zanzibar, you did you? Okay.
Yeah. So.
But the alternative thing is just to go for a walk in the park.
I've done that as well.
Distance. And I think that's quite good. You know what?
Well, it is and it isn't. I've done a few walks. I've got to be honest. I've done a few walks this year. 2021 walks.
You see how fit the person is?
Yes, but
are they a team player?
it's so cold when I was doing them. Like in January, I did a few walks. It was so cold. I've got coat. I've got hats. I've got everything. You can't really see them.
You just
Do you know what I mean? You can't really see, and they're all like with all padded coats and that. You literally could not see, and vice versa.
Okay.
What they look like.
No,
You can't see.
At least they take the things off for a moment at least.
Well, they don't. Not if you just go meet them at the park and go walking around the park. They're literally covered up. I've met this guy like I think 2-3 times, and I haven't taken my hat off. He hasn't seen me. He hasn't seen me without my beanie.
That shows you're a good girl then.
Yeah, but he hasn't seen me without a beanie on. It's true.
Yeah.
He doesn't like my hair. Probably doesn't, because it needs fucking cutting. So, yeah.
Okay.
So you can't really see them, and you kind of don't know. Although I've met him like say I think it's 3 times. You don't really know. It's not like sitting in a bar and seeing their actual mannerisms and their actual how they are in a bar. Do you know what I mean? Ordering a drink and being polite or not polite to the waiter. You don't see that, do you, walking around the park?
Well, I think you could easily...
I might sit down with him. He doesn't know how to use knife and fork. But I've been on 3 walks with him. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, but you can always stop there. See, like if you could do like an activity, like get a Boris bike and go for a little cycle.
Well, you could.
See
but I'm shit on the bike.
Oh, okay. But what I'm saying is that these outdoor activities...
Yeah, it's quite good. I mean, I think the thing that's quite good about it is generally there's no alcohol involved. So therefore there's no beer goggles or anything like that. So that's quite good.
Yeah.
Because you're not letting alcohol influence your judgment.
But then you do see if this person is considerate. Are they walking too fast? Are they making intellectual conversation about whatever's around them? Or are they just talking about whatever? Do you see what I mean? There's quite a few things that...
Yeah, no, it's okay, but it's better when it's not so cold, is what I would say. And you're not in a bobble hat and, wrapped up to the nines.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was so cold in January on the walks that I went on that it was like freezing. So I'd say more in summer where you could go and like grab a coffee and just wander and be a bit more casual about it. But when it's really cold, you literally have to like stomp round, otherwise you'll get cold.
Yeah, when you're drinking the coffee, you have to kind of do that penguin thing where you huddle together. But that's not a bad thing, really. That's one way you can get to know very quickly. Ooh, is he keeping me warm? Come here, I keep you warm. That's tough, yeah. I didn't think this one would go on for this long, but it's a type of subject. But do you know what? I'll give you a statistic for you, Sally. Tinder, has superseded, or dating apps has superseded the most common way to find a marriage partner.
Of course, because there's fucking nothing else to do. You can't go out.
Even before the lockdown, it was announced on LBC, so probably that makes it official.
Yeah.
That,
well, I'm sure.
More people get married
through
dating apps than they do traditionally, which was meeting someone at work. working.
Meeting someone at work was the most common thing. Okay.
And now dating apps are superseded.
I don't meet anyone at work, so yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I won't ask you what you do. Give away who you are. Maybe.
I don't care. But no. But some people just don't meet people through work. They don't work in that kind of thing where they're going to meet people.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Like my other job, there's always been men. I've always been surrounded by men.
What's your other job?
I was in security. I was in military, and I was in commercial construction many years ago.
Yeah,
so it's
all male. That's what I mean. And women, a lot of women work in offices where it's all women, really.
Yeah.
Same thing, yeah. So
you need
to swipe.
But you know what? A good thing about dating apps, though, is that you can make it a decision. You can do it. You can say, all right, I've got 5 minutes. Let me quickly. I'm waiting for someone.
Yeah.
And you can go on there.
Yeah.
It's either that or you're going to go on social media.
Yeah. Yeah, just have a quick swipe and you're waiting on the train, on the way to work, whatever, yeah.
So when I used to work in central London, I used to catch the train in, so I used to live in Shirley. You would see people on the train going,
I know.
What got me, someone told me one time, some women or some of their friends, they get together as females.
Oh yeah.
And they look and say, what do you think? No, yes.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, of
and
course
I'm
I
like,
do.
really? Is that you?
Yeah,
is it meant to be a private individual thing?
No, but also you take your friend's phone and then you swipe like yes on loads of blokes that you don't think that she'd like, just for a laugh. Yeah. Don't men do that?
No, I remember.
No, you grab your friend's phone and go, let me have a look at your Tinder or whatever it is, and then you swipe yes on all of them. I've done that on a friend's phone before, like literally every single hideous person. Yes. Just
all
for
the
her
Brad
to.
Pitt lookalikes, you said no.
Yeah, well, no, just yes to everything.
Okay.
And it's got a pulse. It's a man. Just say yes.
That's an interesting one. I've never thought of that at all. But no, I have never asked for my friend's phone to swipe swipe right or swipe left for him. It's maybe it's just a lady thing, female thing, in that respect. Okay. Last question.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the impact you want to have on the world?
Huh? I don't want to have an impact. I just want to have fun.
Okay.
I just want to have fun.
Fair enough.
I just want to be happy, have fun. Everyone around me to be happy and have fun. Yeah.
That's good.
It's just about being happy and having fun for me. I'm not going to make some dramatic speech.
Well, hopefully come June, what is it, June 8th or something?
May. We're supposed to be allowed out. Yeah.
No,
May.
but June we're allowed to travel. Everything's meant to be back to normal.
Well, they haven't said about travel yet.
Is it? Really?
17th of May, I think, that we're allowed to go to the inside in a restaurant.
But we're still going to have to be doing the masks in the restaurant.
I don't know. Yeah, it's June that you
know
masks. Yeah.
So it's June I'm really looking for.
Yeah.
I told my daughter we're getting on a plane, doing a runner.
Where are you going?
Well, I've got a choice, either go Kenya or go Miami.
Where's your family from?
My family's in Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what's your connection with Kenya, or you just like it?
No, I've got children in Kenya,
Oh.
and I used to live in Kenya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, things like that. So yeah, I told her we're doing a runner to somewhere hot.
Yeah.
Where Boris can't lay down his rules on us.
So do you go to Jamaica?
No, won't go to Jamaica. It'd be Miami or Kenya.
Oh, okay, not Jamaica.
So I got family in Miami. They've got lots of houses, and they said I should come and see them and chill out and stuff like that. But then I don't know what Biden's attitude is to the whole lockdown.
Apparently, it's very cool in Miami, in Florida. They're just completely normal there.
Yeah. Well, I heard a lot of people left. What was it, LA, and went to Texas or something?
Yeah, I don't know, but in Florida, it's really relaxed apparently.
Okay. But anyway, thanks for the interview. Much appreciated. And we wish you well.
I hope you don't listen.
We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.